Good morning. It's me, Mr. Cheney, with another brilliant tutorial. So we're going to the Energy Forms and Changes Labs. I realized I did not put a tutorial up here, and that needs to be done for those of you who may not have been here or who need a little help getting caught up. So here we go. With the Energy Forms, we've split it into two parts. This is going to be part one. And so in Google Classroom, you will find it here. I'll show you in the list where it's at. We are in unit number 2, Energy Forms and Changes, PhET Lab number 1. I'll open up the Google Slides here to show you what we're looking at. There's only 2 slides on this one. First slide, we're going to be working with just the water and temperature. We're going to be talking about boiling point and freeze point. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to look at the different thermal changes that happen when we do the water. And then we're just going to look at energy holdings for the iron and the brick. Alright, so 2 questions on slide 1. Is it possible to boil the water? Explain how you know. And then, is it possible to freeze the water? Explain how you know. So here's how we set it up. We go to Clever, and you guys will see my teacher page, Mr. Cheney's page, and we're going to go to the PhET Lab, and we're going to go to Energy Forms and Changes. We're going to press play, and we're going to do the intro part. So the intro part is with water, and we're going to find out if we can boil this thing. And so the key here is actually the thermometer. We're putting the thermometer in the water, and when we heat this water up, even though we don't have it degrees, we know that when we put heat to the water, it's increasing the kinetic energy, and the thermometer is rising, obviously. Now, the thermometer rises to the point where it boils, and then it stops rising because you can't go past boiling in an open system here. So what we see is the steam being released because of that. Now, we want to put our energy symbols on so we can see this a little better. Now I can apply ice to this and cool it down, and you can see that, as we learned before, heat transfer is from hot to cold, so that's what we're seeing here. The energy blocks are releasing into the ice, and that ice would actually be melting. So if we raise this again, you see that the transfer from the flame to the glass to the water, there's more energy blocks, there's more kinetic energy, the blocks are getting faster, the temperature is rising, and the reason we know that it's boiling is because it stops raising at a certain temperature and the steam starts to go, so that tells us that it's boiling. Now, as far as freezing goes, we know that it's going to be freezing because even though the energy blocks don't stop completely, because we know even a solid, something solid matter state, there's some kinetic energy, there's vibration of the molecules or atoms. You can see here in the picture that we've got not a liquid but a solid ice. So we know it because of the energy blocks, and we know it because of the thermometer right here being at the very lowest and not changing from there as well. Okay, so going back to the slides, you would answer those questions for why on both of those. Number 2, we're going to chill the water as much as possible, which it is now. Then we're going to add heat and observe. We're going to list a few things. So I've already listed a few here, so I'll go through that again. And so if I were to raise the temperature, the things I'm noticing is that the energy from the flame is increasing the kinetic energy to the glass and then to the water. It's increasing in energy blocks. It's exciting the atoms. They're getting faster and more of them. And then at some point, you see that the temperature stops, and that's how we know it's boiling, and then steam and thermal energy is being released from the top of the beaker. Okay, so knowing those, I listed about 5 or 6 in that diatribe, so you would come back and list some of these. Last thing, we're going to put the brick and the iron on at the same time. We're going to see which one holds more energy, so here's how we set that up. We're going to take this off, we're going to put the brick on, put the iron on. We're going to link the heaters so we can heat them at the same time, and we're heating, and we're just simply noticing which one is holding more energy and which one is holding it quicker. So I know where my guess is, and so I'm going to need you to put that in the slide. made here. And that is it. That is the intro for Energy Lab, and I will go to part 2 now. See you at that tutorial.